Hello, I'll do the demo review for CP Steel. Demo loaded up here. I think it's tick 5900. Let's change my volume. 0.0. What the? Nice and quiet. It's 59,000. Sweet, I don't think my game crashed.
Mission begins in 60 seconds.
Hopefully my model's nice. People are moving around the map, not glitched. Alright, the key on defense is to buff up as many people as you can as medic to buff your heal stats. That's a key strategy to get better stats. Anyways, nice whipping the spot to get in position. It's always helpful. You guys seem to have a fair amount of people on A. I don't know if you're gonna rotate off, but usually we would have like one or two more players. Oh yeah, you're over here now, so that's fine. Just to make sure our NG doesn't get killed. And ideally keep the gun alive. It's not really much to talk about on A, just pretty standard. Don't know why your pyro is up there. I guess he was just trying to spam score shot at the sniper, but usually like it's better to just be defensive and make sure you stay alive. And your demo gets picked there, which is a pretty big deal. Not say exactly how it happened, but I'm guessing he got sniped through this little crevice or spammed out by the demo. But he'll be spawning in time to defend B. Just making sure nobody gets picked there is a pretty important thing, so that you can really get the forward presence here early. Which you guys are starting to do now. Your heavy has got the right idea, he's up pretty far. The rest of your team is playing pretty far back. I don't see your sniper. Oh, I guess he's watching this. Yeah, they're doing A to E, which is very simple to counter. What you guys would want to do here is not actually fight them here. You can just back up with your demo, med, heavy, and pyro, and just sit right here. For my team, we call it main, and the demo can spam the point, and without capping B or C, like only their scout and soldier can cap, and so you can just deny the cappers here and just ignore the rest of their team just sort of sitting on the sides. And essentially, if you have your pyro here, he can just air blast them off the point if they actually like come close to contest you, and so your combo itself will be very, very safe, and your demo can just keep spamming away at the point. And then like with your combo there, it'll be distracting them, and so you can have like your soldier just black box, just peek and shoot, peek and shoot, peek and shoot, resup, peek and shoot, and just for this, you guys, you don't need to fight the random classes all around. You only need to worry about the point, because as long as you can keep the point shut down, they won't win. It's worked extremely well for teams in the past that I've been playing on, so that's definitely what I'd recommend, just having pyro demo here and not peeking up, just playing safe and far back. Right now, you guys have the point stickied, no reason to peek. Something you can do with your demos run the loose cannon to bounce people off, and your power can run like scorch shot to knock people off as well. Like your scouts push up engaging them, which you don't really need to do. To be honest, DHing, like try to kill the sentry, it's not that big of a deal. You really just need to worry about fighting the point, because like if they have like 8 people sitting right here, they're not capping the point. It only matters what's on the point itself. But yeah, if you just try to have your pyro buffed up there, you can just sprint in and air blast people off. Med drops the heavy. Probably just like miscommunication because it's a fairly new medic to your team. But yeah, it started to break down for you guys. It's getting kind of scary. Generally, you just want to wait. Your demo probably should wait a few seconds before going in to get your pyro and your pyro and heavy with him, and then just shoot the point. And he's getting pretty far forward. Should probably just try to stand farther back to spam it, and there, it's a good job of just getting them off the point. And then you have the right classes here now. Your pyro is overextending here. Should really honestly just play back defensive. They use in, you can kite, they're not capping. You can just run away and make sure you don't die. And then it's just a lone heavy here, which you can re-push in and crush him. That's good, but now they're almost capped, so you guys gotta shoot the point. You have the chest on the spy, and you clear the point, and they're down a lot of players right now. So now, since they're down so much, now would be a time you can think about clearing this, but still, like, oh, your medic dies, that is unfortunate. Not see what happened there, but I think they were pretty low health when they popped, so, like, you can always just run back and resub, and then come back in. But here, it's looking like they'll probably get the cap with you guys down so much. But yeah, if you just have like, if your pyro is not in main, you can just have them air blast the sickies, and then you can just spam the point, and there's not a whole lot they can do with that. Or something you could even try is just like charging up the cow mangler, and then having a teammate open the door for you, and then just cow mangler on the point. Don't know how big the range is on that, but might be able to do more damage to people on point. But just using the regular rocket launcher works well, just as well. Yeah, 5:42, like, it's a pretty long, it's like a decent time, but it's definitely beatable. You can just do the standard like A, B, C, D, E push, and still have 1 or 2 pushes that you can fail with this time left. So it's nothing to be like super worried about, but definitely gotta play smart to match this time. And usually, if you haven't practiced a strat in scrims, you probably shouldn't try it in a match. So like, if you haven't practiced like A to E in a scrims, then it would be a pretty big mistake to try it in a match. And like, just going ABE, something that you can go really fast on, or ABCDE, like you can still get that cap down in sub 4 times. Generally what I've seen successful is when the demo and like the scout, maybe another class, walk up the left here and kill out the random flank classes here, and then they're able to better pressure up top, and then as that's happening you can have the heavy just peek the top of his head over this, spray out anyone there. Usually that distracts them a fair amount, so if your spy wants to try, you can go into this corner and decloak while your heavy and your demo are peeking them. Try to get a stab on the combo. Your demo goes up here, even though it's like mostly capped. I don't know if you guys want to go drop down or... But yeah, it looks like you're gonna go drop down or an A to E push, which really like doesn't ever work from what I've seen if you just know the simple idea of how to counter it by just standing in main and only worrying about the point. You guys are sort of stalling out because they rotated really quickly. Then you get stabbed, which is unfortunate. Something you can do is like, if you are pushing your combo here, that'll probably make almost their entire team rotate towards this point, and you can just have your few flank classes try to cap this. Like if you send your spy and your soldier, they can just sap, and then 3 rockets will kill the gun. It's usually pretty straightforward. Just take down a solo NG with like a spy soldier combo. And then that'll open you guys up to capping with a few flank classes on B, which, worst case scenario, it'll draw rotators to block the point and give your combo better space to walk in. Or they'll just outright get the cap and then make pushing it E or C or whatever point you want to much easier. So that's something to think about. But just overall, I could never recommend doing a straight A to E push because I just think the success rate is so low that just doing a more straightforward push 95% of the time would be better. If it's something you guys really want to pursue, then that's fine, I guess, but it's just something I would never call for my team to do. I don't know if this is like the first time you tried this strategy, so you hadn't really had a chance to like talk about what you'd be doing with all your classes. That could be making it harder for you guys, so if you want to try this, then you should really try to talk it out with your teammates and see exactly what you want players to be doing to make sure you get the most out of your pushes. You could do something similar to what they did, get the NG up here with level 3 with the sniper so we can hide behind the gun's hitbox and then cover the door pretty well. And then have your combo stand in front and pressure this out. Generally, if you had the gun there and the sniper there, you'd probably want to do sort of what they did at the end of that round, is when they finally managed to cap, is to sort of walk into here and take control of this so their spawners can't really affect the point. But here you guys rotate and then just unfortunately get killed out by their rotation. That's something to keep in mind too, is they can rotate their spawn really, really fast because it's just such a short distance. So you generally don't want to have like your entire team, like all 9 go, because a big thing about Steel is splitting their attention. It's like having like 1 or 2 classes pressure E, and then the rest of your team go is good to do. Then here you guys go back to pushing E, which is really scary. I guess you're doing that because you only have a minute left. But since it's not that match, you might as well just like practice your B push, because that's probably something that will be more important to you actually winning in the match, rather than just sort of trying to win the scrim and just going for a last ditch push on E. This is an interesting setup by them. Their gun over there, I guess they're just committing to defending E, but if they commit that so hard, then you could just pick up a free B cap, but at this point the round's over essentially, so not much more to say. But just, I don't know if there is a second half in this STV, but this first half was just, I don't know how much you can learn from, since it was just the A to E, which is a peculiar strat. They're saying good half, so hopefully the STV will continue. Yep, looks like there's a lot of time left in the STV. love steel scrims. People talking about strats on halftime since it's so complicated. Make sure a long intermission in the demo review. On steel, at least, I feel that starting on offense or defense is not as big of an advantage because usually, because the map is set up like, if you're on offense first and then you're defending with a set time, you'll know like what points you have to commit to holding, and you'll also be able to anticipate better like what points and how the other team will be pushing. So I think it sort of minimizes the advantage teams get for starting on red. Just a random topic.
5, 4, 3, 2, 1.
So you guys are committing to A to get that cap. If your sniper's going to be peeking, it's good for med just to tank him at 185. Wouldn't really matter for that because he's just hard scoping, but just in general. Ooh, the spy sneaks by. Yeah, usually I'd recommend for your demo to come up left here with like a scout and your sniper as well, because the sniper can peek through that angle, which is pretty good. And the heavy can just come up here. That's what I've seen work best. Something that H&G and Blaze have been doing in our scrims is, I think with maybe one other class or something, they would come out here, H&G would get envisioned as sap because most teams wouldn't have very many people on B, and then H&G would sap, and then Blaze would just peek out and spam the gun and kill it. It's just something you could try to do. Get an early gun kill. Can be successful if your soldier and spy can get that coordination down. You guys are going in, just getting a lot of positioning without even having to use, but something to note is that your heavy and I think was your pyro as well were pretty far forward. Works out for you guys because they don't really push into you with their Uber, but something to keep in mind is that usually you don't want to have that many players pushed up before the Uber, at least, because it's better to like trade Ubers and then have the rest of your team like on good health for the post fight. But you guys do a good job of cleaning up and killing 4 players at least. They have a gun here, which is quite interesting. Usually, since their demo's dead and you already have people capping so well, you want to try to get forward with your combo faster than you guys are. You might have been just waiting for respawners, so that's fine as well. Here your flank's doing a good job of getting aggressive and taking a 2v1 on the heavy, getting that kill. And your scouts pushed up really aggressively. Might have thought your combo's closer, but generally it would have been good for him to wait a little bit. And then here you guys are flooding into C, which is good. Scouts doing a great job pressuring out the demo, not giving him a chance to peek. Your demo should really try to be getting up on the high ground and then locking out their spawn. You probably can play up there with him too. Because sticking off this is very helpful. Heavy can't do a whole lot from the spawn because the damage nerf, unless he pre-fires. Here the stickies, like, it's okay to just pop through this. Just to like, yeah, it looks like just semi-screen cache on that, and your demo goes forward. Your med wasn't quite ready. And then here you're just like solo Uber and F8 and he's getting air blasted, so it's like almost impossible to track anything. And your med runs into the gun. Certainly if you're going to run through this, you just got to try to sprint through and just go in with your demo immediately. Because if you get stalled out here, you're just sort of in a trap. So you just gotta sprint in if you're gonna go through there. Here you get a little too aggressive alone. Big thing on steel that slows teams down is when they are on different spawn waves and they go in one at a time. And just take 1v2s because you're probably never going to win those, and then you're just on another spawn wave. So it's usually a really good thing to do is just to wait until you have like 2 or 3 people and then you push in. Because then if there's just a soldier here and you push in like your scout and your NG, you'll take a 2 or 3v1 and get the frag for sure. Your combo's working in. That's good. Your med died, so you know they have a slight advantage, so you might not want to be pushing up quite this close, like what your heavy was doing going up the side. But again, it looks like your demo and meta are on slightly different pages, and your demo dies. He might have just been going for a force, but usually you just want to make sure the demo's live to Uber because heavy's not really going to do anything. Just wait for the respawn because you know you'll still have advantage. Here, since they don't have Uber, it'd be a great time to take your scout and your demo in on this Uber. Yeah, heavy's doing what I like to do. It's generally best, I think, is going up there when you're pushing the, because you avoid damage, pressure him from multiple sides, and then he's just locking down this hallway. Since the heavy's watching that, your demo should probably focus on the upper spawn. Much more to say from that. The heavy's pushing in right here for some reason, and you guys don't kill him. Just kind of a struggle. But yeah, just like overall, it seems like it would have been better if like the heavy was watching this and the demo was watching the upper spawn, just to make sure that people couldn't get in. Then you guys lose your positioning on D, which is a big struggle because giving them this place to like regroup with their spawns is like the only chance they'll have of winning. You guys pop in, which is fine. Your pyro comes in, which isn't really necessary, but you guys do a good job of killing the gun there. You guys do force out their combo, but your heavy is a little bit slow coming through here. I'm not sure if they were hurt or eating a sandwich or something, but there's something to call if they're a little bit behind. To make sure the demo doesn't die there, because then if the demo dies, you're just a solo heavy, and the pyro is just M1ing. Welcome to the game. What a struggle. Your flank's doing a good job of getting cap time. But it sort of seemed like you guys were going in before your combo is ready to support you, and a big problem that teams I've been playing on have had in the past is like when the flank would go in when the combo wasn't ready, or when the combo would go when the flank isn't ready, because the best way to win is to like sync up your combo's pressure to your flank's cap time so that they can't just rotate independently and kill off your flank and then kill off your combo. That's a big thing to keep in mind, is to make sure your combo and your flank go in together, just sort of like what I was saying a little bit ago about how you shouldn't try to go in one by one. It sort of applies even if you go in as a group. You should just try to make sure your whole team commits as a unit rather than just 1 or 2 people. With your combo fighting here, that would be a good time to have your flank try to get cap time. And looks like you push up before the rest of your flank was in. I don't know if they were just sort of baiting or they called they weren't ready. But it just seems like you guys are a little bit off in your timings. You do a really good job of just crushing their whole team with your combo there. And you just get on the point. Good job of having your combo forward, locking out spawns. And your spies down there getting info. It'd probably be good to have a little bit more cap time. Just to make sure you get the point. Because right now, with 0 on it, that's really bad. You almost always need to have someone capping when you have positioning like this, because you're just losing all the progress you already had. This is quite bad. Like, you have 8 people live, you should really make sure you have people on the point. Something you can do is have everyone Fist of Steel and just sit here like a fatty with Fist of Steel out, and then you have like 600 health essentially with that equipped. And Heavy's pushing up here, which isn't something super necessary to do. But yeah, just like playing this side and just sort of suiciding in since you're so close to getting the cap, and just laying in, that's good. You guys get a 10-minute time, which fairly slow. Is definitely doable for you to defend it. So like a big thing about Steel is like not getting depressed about your time, because if people are not expecting to win, then like they might get angry, they might shut down, stop calming, stop playing as a team, they might make bad individual plays, and then it'll just make you guys lose faster. So it's always good to try to make sure mobile environment's positive. So people, especially on Steel, like it's so important to have good comms, just to make sure like people aren't getting angry and shutting down. As long as you're hyped up and ready to win, then you can definitely do very well on Steel. Looks like you guys are having like almost over here. Something like your demo can just be standing over here just spamming 8 stickies, resupping, shooting 8 stickies, resupping. I guess the blast radius is a lot smaller, so that would be less effective, so like you could use the cannonball gun. Name's slipping my mind. I don't know why you had a dispenser there. Guys back off. Combos all up. Rotating forward to get a good positioning there. Looks like your sniper's AFK, which is a pretty big deal for holding B at least, because locking down these sight lines is very strong. I guess they're doing the retarded AE push again, which nice, your sniper gets the kill in the med, but you guys really don't need to be pushing up and killing them, because if you get picked, that's a super huge deal because of the spawn time. So just playing defensive and keeping your numbers, it's very big. You guys rotate like almost your entire team off of B, which I'd say is a mistake. Usually want to leave people here so that when they double back you have that info. Here you have Uber advantage, and since they've committed a lot of people, like as soon as their med's there, you should definitely take your scout demo in on the Uber. Like that's definitely a valid thing to do, but also I guess just holding it and waiting for them to come in can work. But when you're just backed into this corner getting spammed, like it's a pretty bad situation to be in. So in this situation when they're like fighting in but don't have an Uber, you could definitely think about Ubering in and killing them. Here like they just grind you down with the demo spam in this corner and you lose players, and then you're forced to back up. So if you get like a strong like solid hold on B, like you can hold it for a fair amount of time, but just like giving up that map control in the front there is the biggest way to lose it. here with like out very many players, you should definitely back up to C with your combo. Looks like your demo like came out of spawn and tried to go this way, which is a mistake. Probably should have just stayed in spawn and back spawn to C. That's a big thing that you can incorporate. Just back spawning and making sure you have no risk of dying in that connector area. And yeah, your med and your power just sort of overstayed their welcome right here. Should have backed out sooner and made sure they lived. And then your demo dies there. Demo just sort of going in one by one again, which is something you had a little bit of a problem on offense, but now it's just like getting really bad on defense, probably because you're like, oh, we have a 10-minute time. What are we gonna do? I have to go for like an individual play to win. But here you do a good job of pushing as a group and completely taking over C. So that was good there. Flank went and distract, and then your combo just rolled in and made sure everything was gone. Let's see where their team is positioned. Sounds like they're going gate. Yes. Something usually the way I like to hold is like you have like your demo and your heavy here. Your med can just be sitting back here. And if your NG doesn't need the dispenser, a good place to build it is right here, because then if a flank class comes from D, you'll have some warning about it. And then with your combo here, it's a lot safer, and then you can just sort of spam straight down if they come on the low ground. And then you're sort of better equipped to spam the sniper as well. And then you can also just be sort of sitting right here as a med. We would usually have our pyro in this area. And then our sniper could peek from here as well to deny theirs. And something you can do is like have your heavy jump up here and check if their sniper's coming gate. Or you can just have your sniper playing here to counter snipe. You guys all die, unfortunately, on C. Seemed like you started dropping players and then you didn't really react fast enough that you just kept losing players there. So if you're like 3 down and they're pushing you, just like, it's fine to give it up and just make sure you have a good hold in this area. But your team is sort of spread out here, like your heavy was over here and like your combos back here. It really only matters if they push in like they did, but maybe trying to play a little tighter as a combo so that your med and demo don't keep getting killed by the spy and scout there. And the fact that you were all dead allowed them to get into position for that. Here you guys have the right to take over this. You push out the sniper because he's alone. And they're not getting much cap time really. But with there's people pushing into D, like, you generally don't need to drop down here. You can usually fight them pretty effectively from up top by the spawn and not risk dying. They're backing off, so usually you'd want to rotate your combo and take over control again, because that cuts off their spawners from coming in, and then also allows you to contest the point and sort of crossfire with your flank if your flank's playing back by your spawn and your combo's over here contesting, and then it also allows your combo to stop them from getting into D, which is exactly what their combo's trying to do right now. And then once they get into D, like, you're all just clumped up in this tiny little space, so definitely having your combo contest from control rather than back by your spawn is something to try to focus on. Here you just lose all your players again. You guys tend to be like dropping like 6, 7, 8 players at a time and like almost wiping, so that's something you should really try to avoid. Your sniper's starting Girardi, which is good, but not really anyone to capitalize off the Girardi. But yeah, just like, you guys didn't really have positioning, and then you sort of got pushed back into this tiny little area and all died because of it. Seems like on B and here Not so much on C though, but you guys were just generally like losing map control, and then they were able to just sort of push in and get positioning for free. So that's something to think about, is just making sure you have the map control. And then overall just making sure that you don't push in one by one, you just wait for your spawners to come and you go in as a group, and that your flank and your combo push in at the same time is something a little bit harder, but it's very crucial. And then just really stressing to never die on defense, because that's something you guys are doing a fair amount, is getting picked off and almost wiping. You guys did a good job of salvaging it, because you've held for like over 8 minutes now. Just past the 8-minute mark, which is a strong time for you guys. And here you guys get position again. You guys managed to survive that. So you have positioning here. I don't know where your med went. Should definitely. Oh my goodness. Looked like your med was standing still, and your NG and scout and demo missed the scout, and then you got 2-shot. But like, you should have your med and demo in this room, and then just like your flank classes only over here, because I can counter snipe and then fall back to the relative safety of D. Your med stuck in, and like these players are just holding, but seems like there's a big disconnect where like your med is, I guess since they're new, but something you gotta try to fix is your med somewhat seems isolated at times, because you had like a strong hold over here, but if your med was there, allow you to keep control of it. Especially when you're holding E, you want your combo in this area, and then your flank in the back, and you're sort of cross-firing on the E. Just down to 40 seconds is good. You just gotta make sure you sort of reset and stabilize. They don't have any cap time, so it's just, you just gotta chill out, make sure you reset, get your spawns in position, so that you don't sort of bleed players like this and just collapse. So when it's just getting down and it's like chaotic, like you're gonna just call it a reset, get everybody like back together and in a position, because E takes a fair amount of time to cap, so just taking your time and getting in position is a fine thing to do, and it'll help you prolong your holds. But you guys pull out a very good hold here. I think you're gonna win. Yep, that was really nice. I'm surprised they didn't actually win, because you guys would lose almost your entire team multiple times, but just like overall things to think about is making sure you guys don't die on defense, having your med more protected, like with your combo, holding control with the combo, letting the flank hold back by the spawn over there. Just being more aware of when your flank is going in from the combo's perspective, and just try to sync up those pushes between the flank and the combo. And then individually making sure you guys don't go in one at a time. That's mostly all of it. You guys are still managing to hold pretty well, despite like making these mistakes, and if you correct these mistakes, they're fairly simple things to change, especially just like the combo positioning. You guys should be able to do much better. Hopefully you guys get a chance to watch this. At least some of you do. Good luck today. Hopefully you guys can win.